You guys should be commended for making it out here. I really like the smaller turnouts actually because I think that's where the real magic happens. It just turns out to be a little more intimate, and so I'm really happy for everybody. I've written 2 books. One's UFO Hunter's Guide. I wrote that because I was tired of listening to the government tell us about stuff, and I don't think we really should be waiting around for them. I think the answers lie within all of you and all of us up here. We can find out what the answers are. I wrote another book called Song in Your Heart, Story of the Search for the Lost Note. It's about the role of the roots reggae Rastas, as I described in the book, like guys like Bob Marley. What were they really doing in terms of a global struggle for the control of human consciousness? Because I don't think there's a conspiracy. I think apathy is what has led to where we are today. And my next book is going to be called UFO PR. That should be out in December, and that's what my lecture will be about tomorrow. We'll show evidence to suggest that there is a formal public relations campaign being perpetrated on human consciousness by the occupants of UFOs. That's good.
Brett Leuder. Len Caston.
Good evening, everybody. I've been at this now for about 30 years. Time has passed so fast.
Hey, he's up. You got to lean into the mic.
I can't believe 30 years have passed, actually. I started with an experience I had in the Air Force where I believe I was taken on board a craft and took off from there. And then I joined NICAP, Newpon, wrote 60 articles for Atlantis Rising magazine, about 20 for New Dawn magazine in New Zealand. I wrote Secret History of Extraterrestrials in 2010, and Secret Journey to Planet Serpo 2013. And my third book, this is a flash now, an announcement. My new book is called Alien World Order. And I've been working on that for over a year. It'll be published also by Bear & Company. And this is a diversion for me because I've tried to stick to what was really hard evidence. The Serpo story to me was really hard evidence. And all the articles I've written for Atlantis Rising were also hard evidence. I've tried to avoid speculation. This book is a little bit of a departure, and I guess you'll see when it comes out. Okay, I had the wrong side. That's how technological I am, you know? Alien World Order is about us and the reptilians. So you'll have that to look forward to.
Good.
Comes out in March.
March. Yes, it comes out in March, published by Bear & Company, Inner Traditions. And so be prepared for that.
Len Caston. I'm not going to, so don't worry about it, Richard. Richard Bleepin' Dolan. Richard Dolan.
Hi, happy to be here. I've been writing about UFO subject for over 20 years, and it's just one of those rabbit holes that just keep pulling you down deeper and deeper. So I've written 4 big fat books, 2 volumes of history called UFOs and the National Security State. I wrote co-authored a speculative book about the future, which is called After Disclosure. That is what would happen if this secret were to end and how would it transform our world, as opposed to the first 2 volumes, which are just straight up history. And then I recently wrote a book, the one that I have here, which I think is a good introduction to the subject, called UFOs for the 21st Century Mind, which covers, in my opinion, really the best sort of overview of the subject that's been out there. I've always been a political writer in the sense that I focus on all aspects of UFOs. All of it fascinates me, but the politics probably have always drawn me the most. Before I did UFO research, I was a student of U.S. Cold War history, Soviet history, and things like that. So as a result, I'm doing a non-UFO book now. I lectured about it earlier today, which is History of False Flag Operations. And that's every bit as paradigm shattering, I guess you could say, as UFOs. UFOs are real, false flags are real, much more is real, you all know that, and hopefully we'll get to explore that tonight.
Richard Lincoln Dolan. Patty Greer, what's going on?
I get to be the girl on the panels these days, and I like it. The difference in this panel than the David Wilcock panel a month and a half ago is that it's just such a different energy and people aren't taking 38 minutes. So thank you for locking that down.
Yeah. Keep going.
So I was,
Keep going.
okay.
Same problem, huh?
I'm a UFO filmmaker, and I never planned on it. I have never had any training or interest in making movies. I was poisoned in 2004 by a dentist who I paid $6,000 for porcelain fillings. He gave me free nitrous, and I woke up with a mouthful of new mercury fillings and lost the use of my fingertips. For 12 and a half years, I'm still in Band-Aids today, sorry. But I was a harpist professional, so it took my fingers because they needed me to stop playing music and to start making movies. Little did I know this was my future. Little did I know that all the CDs I made of music were for all these movies. And as I made the movies, I'm like, oh my God, that song is perfect. That song is perfect. How did this happen? How long have they been working me? So I didn't plan on doing any of this, but I went and laid in a crop circle trying to heal my hands from mercury poisoning, and I got taken. My second year, end of the summer, they took me on a journey that was phenomenal. It was in my movie. I don't know how many of you saw it today. Crop Circle Diaries, my new and last Crop Circle movie I ever need to make. But after that experience, I made 4 full feature films in 2 years by myself with no training. Didn't mean to, but they were pounding me at 3 every morning. So now I've got 8 movies. I'm working on my 9th now, which I'm hardly talking about. The master was just pulled from the post office by someone, and half the data was removed. I'm having so much fun with my hackers. So, luckily we have a lot of masters, so they had to send me another, but this has been the most grueling experience with the industry of the worst people I've ever known, but I am a survivor, and I'm not leaving. So I'm in for the long haul, and I'm also the one that for some reason people seem to tell the truth to, and then I share it with others because I'm here to save the field, not to watch us be destroyed. And they're really trying to destroy us on levels that we wouldn't believe. Those sheep in suits and ties are really impressively tricking a lot of us. A lot of really great people in the field are being taken out, and we're not going to let that happen. So thank you all for being here because we got to power up this grid and move us forward.
Represent. Brad Olson, probably, I lost my mic. Wow, check. Did it die?
Yeah, but
Here. Yeah, right? Brad Olson, quite possibly the tallest author in all of ufology.
It didn't start out in ufology. I came out of, we lost all the mics. There we go.
Oh.
I grew up in the Midwest, Chicago suburbs.
I realized there's a big world out there, and I self-financed a 3-year trip around the world. I basically traveled throughout my 20s, and that springboarded me into travel writing. And I was a travel writer for a little over 15 years. So my books are over there on the table if you want to check them out. And the latest series of books I did was on sacred places around the world. And while exploring many of these places, I realized there's a much bigger picture to many of these sites, some of which even have associations in ufology, and certainly many mysteries that still need to be resolved, such as the Great Pyramids and many others. And this brought me into about 5 years ago thinking about a new series about redefining myself, and this is when I began writing the esoteric series. The first book is called Modern Esoteric, and it basically takes a look back at the antediluvian civilizations, many of the dilemmas that we face in this modern age. And Future Esoteric is the second book in the series, and that's the one that I tackle many of the questions in ufology. And that's the book that got me on Ancient Aliens and Contact in the Desert and Coast to Coast many times, got me in touch with Jimmy, and it's really changed my career in many ways for the better. And I'm now working on the third book in this series called Beyond Esoteric, and that is also going to have many subjects of ufology.
Brad Olson is one of the best. Okay, so this we lost. Wow, absolutely bizarre. I don't even. I didn't touch anything, by the way. You think there's a secret switch back there? I didn't touch a thing. Okay.
We got gremlins.
So, I'm going to take questions from everybody. Well, everybody here. Think about some questions, okay? Because I'm going to walk around and we're going to do this. But I'm going to start off with this, and I want a yes or no from each one of our panelists. Check out, this is the first question. And now you'll know what to do next. Chad Meek, yes or no? Have you ever seen a UFO, something strange in the sky? Yes or no?
Yes.
Brett Leuder, have you
Yes.
ever seen something strange in the sky?
Absolutely.
Len Caston,
Yes, definitely.
Yep.
I did it with you 2 months ago. That was pretty strange, yeah.
Several, I've had several.
Patty,
Several.
Yes.
well, you call me every week with another side. I want a show of hands from the audience. Who